For the land of the free and the home of the brave.
And an inspired rendition of our national anthem. Really getting warmed up here, just moments away. We'll be back right after this. Hello, everyone. Proud to bring you Wednesday night coverage of the NBA on 2K Sports. And in our matchup tonight, we'll see the Detroit Pistons going up against the Charlotte Hornets here at Spectrum Center. Alongside Chris Webber and Greg Anthony, I'm Kevin Harlan, the fourth member of our crew. From the sideline, Hall of Famer David Aldridge. DA, it's all yours.
Well, the era of star free agents increasingly being on the move has created a media frenzy that sometimes can be intense and draining. Some players like Kevin Durant have pushed back against year-long and incessant free agency questions. Warriors coach Steve Kerr said, "We're all actors in a soap opera, and we have to deal with that part of it." Kevin?
It can be a circus. David, thanks. And for a look at how the competition stacks up right now, these the new power rankings. They tell a great story. Look at the Trailblazers. They're gaining on some of the teams above them, trying hard to crack into that top 5.
And I think for Detroit, they had some high hopes coming out of the gate, frustrated with their level of play thus far, but they certainly have the pieces to be a factor in this race.
And now the opening lineup for Detroit. On the front line, the talented duo of Griffin and Drummond. Then there's Doumbouya. Then it's Rose, and it's Galloway in at the 2 spot. And for Charlotte, Rozier and Monk, they're the backcourt. Zeller is out there with Hernangomez, and it's Bridges in at the 3. Talk about rookies getting early playing time these days. Were you counted on much your first season? You had a terrific rookie year, obviously, but I'm guessing you did. You were counted on early.
Yeah, you know, for the high draft picks, you're usually going to go to a team that really needs your help. I was just blessed that I had great veterans, Hall of Fame veterans. When you look at guys like Chris Mullin, how about that? I was able to watch him practice and work and take care of his body. Latrell Sprewell, Billy Owens, all the great players, Avery Johnson. So I was counted on to do a lot. But those guys helped me do a lot, and they pumped confidence into me. I was able to steal their style, their work ethic. They showed me the ropes the right way, and I couldn't have been blessed with any better veterans for me to start off my career with.
Now Rose, after the missed 3 from Malik Monk. Here's Rozier. Monk, no one around him, makes no mistake on the open jump shot.
Oh, man, elevating his passing ability. Dimes like this from Rozier help him establish chemistry with his guys.
Rose passes to Galloway. Nice ball movement by Detroit. Outside for Griffin, over Hernangomez. Offensive rebound.
An elite offensive rebounder. Drummond judges shots, trajectories, and angles so well. I mean, just great hustle.
Rose against Rozier. And there's the 3-second call, this one on the defense.
Well, yeah, and Andre Drummond is the epitome and maybe the last of the traditional center. And with that said, it hasn't been easy to find a match for him in the post. But Blake Griffin might have changed all that.
And that one misses.
And Monk is an interesting player, a combo guard with fantastic scoring potential, quick on both ends of the floor.
And in the first, a little over a minute and a half in. Here's Hernangomez, and the shot goes down.
I wouldn't want to be the guy who has to keep him off the boards. He is a beast on the offensive glass.
Rose with the ball. 14 points from him the last game against Orlando.
Yeah, and his energy level in that game was amazing. He did all that work offensively and controlled the boards, too.
And, Chris, as you said, Griffin and Drummond work well together.
Oh, they do, Kevin. The two make up for each other's weaknesses and complement each other's strengths. I mean, Drummond has been playing with confidence, having some of the best games since Blake has come over in the trade.
Free throw, good, Drummond.
I mean, come on. This guy is a walking nightly double-double threat. Andre Drummond's bruising power on both ends really makes an impact.
And both free throws good for Drummond. Well, you look at the former All-Star Andre Drummond and the way he rebounds, Greg. He might be the best in the league in that department.
I mean, few players in the history of the league can go off for 20-plus rebounds on any given night. Drummond's one of them. Attacks the glass on the offensive end so well. His offensive rebounding, for me, sets him apart.
And it's going to be out of bounds. The Pistons will retain possession. Let's bring out the 2K leaderboard to see the best up-tempo teams in the league. Fifth on the list, the Pistons.
Yeah, I mean, they've got the athletes to run the break all game long, so that's their edge. They're always looking to take advantage.
Here in the first, just under 2.5 minutes played so far. Offensive rebound. Here's Griffin from 8 feet away. He drops it in. Griffin's got 5 now.
I mean, he's finding some good shots early on. And what you like about it, he's not trying to do too much.
Pass to Bridges. The dish to Monk. Pass to Rozier. Clock at 6. 13 feet away. Here's Hernan Gomez. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul. It's going to be on Blake Griffin.
Nice work to get it inside and draw the contact.
For Charlotte, they have started out 0 of 1 from the line, missing their only other attempt earlier.
This season, in general, has not been kind to them at the free throw line. Only about 71%.
Free throw good, Hernan Gomez.
It's a brand new era in Detroit, Kevin. I mean, Dwayne Casey has been given the reins, and there's a lot to like about the future. In a short time, has Detroit excited.
So he gets them both. And Chris, for the Pistons, as we know, it's been a while without sustained success.
Yeah, Kevin, they are hoping that last year was a foundation-type season. I mean, they had good results for them as they built this roster. This team is forming an identity and rebuilding the right way.
Left side, Griffin. There's the pass to Drummond. He kicks to Doumbouya. 6 to shoot. Again, the Pistons score.
Well, I think he's looking around wondering where the D is. I mean, nowhere near him, that's for sure.
Rozier against Rose. Monk for 3. That's tipped.
If his performance this quarter is any indication, I don't think he's the one who's going to let them out of the hole.
Drummond. And Drummond is right there. Drummond's got 6.
Oh, this is the kind of start they were hoping for.
And here is Rozier. He picked up 24 points in their last one against Miami. That shot, no good. And Detroit the other way now. Last time they met was in Charlotte, where they beat the Hornets.
Well, they coasted to the win in that one. Were dominant in the rebound department, and that was a huge factor.
Yeah, controlling the flow of second chance opportunities is the key. I mean, something they'll try to replicate tonight.
And here are the Hornets now. 9-point game. Some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, right now you just need a bucket to get some momentum.
Here's Zeller. The putback. It's Drummond with the rebound. And it's Rose with the ball for the Detroit Pistons. Doumbouya kicks to Galloway. Bangs home the trifecta.
Their play on both ends has been superb. We'll see if they can maintain the momentum.
Yeah, you got to be careful. It's still early. They've expended a lot of energy, but they've also built a nice cushion here.
And now the first timeout called here for the Hornets. They come in fresh off a win against the Heat.
Mental toughness on the road. The arena was rocking, but they just got down to business and never let up.
The noise didn't really seem to bother them. In fact, it appeared to make them sharper and play harder for each other.
And let's check out a breakdown. Looking at some stats for Hernan Gomez.
And in the last 5 games, he's made a bunch of hustle plays on the glass more than anywhere else. His rebounding totals in these games shows a dramatic increase from his numbers during the rest of the season.
Now here's Zeller. He had a 12-point outing in their last game against the Heat in Miami. Monk, the pass to Rozier. Shot clock at 5. Can they get it? Hernan Gomez kicks to Zeller. Second shot opportunity. Basket counts.
Look, he has a good feel for the painted area. Zeller, never in a rush. Very deliberate with his moves.
Rose against Rozier. Rose goes in. Got a hand on it, but they recover it. And it's Drummond missing.
And they've come out with a take-no-prisoners approach on the glass here tonight, guys.
Here's Bridges. Detroit with the rebound.
Playing him tough inside and preventing the layup. That'll get the whole team pumped up.
And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here.
Oh, well, Kev, you know I always appreciate when a big man can create for others. And Blake Griffin, he's one of the best in the game in that regard. Such a fantastic passer.
Chris, you almost forget just how big Griffin is because of how smoothly he can facilitate for others.
Yeah, Kevin, and I hate when people say he's a good passer for a big man. I mean, what type of caveat is that? He's just a good passer. He has great vision, superb timing, and that's why he's always been near the top in assists for bigs.
Free throw drops for Griffin. Well, Blake Griffin has been working on that three-pointer now, Chris, for a while. Has gotten to where it's a factor.
Yeah, Kevin, and you're right. And for Blake, he doesn't need to make a ton of threes for it to be effective. All he has to do is keep the defense honest with it so they respect it enough where it opens up the rest of his offense.
And he makes both free throws.
You know, Kevin, it wasn't a bad year for the Hornets last season. I mean, they missed the playoffs, but they were stuck in middle ground. I mean, they were right in the fight for it. This team wants to be a contender, but the best path to that goal isn't easy to see.
Now, here's Bridges. He had 10 points in the win against the Heat in Miami.
Yeah, but it wasn't all about himself. I mean, he kept everybody else in the loop. His passing was tremendous.
And it's Rozier missing. And the playoff drought for the Hornets weighing on everybody's mind.
No, man, 3 years straight of missing the playoffs. 2002 was the last time the Hornets made it out of the first round. I can't find any sustained success from the franchise.
Nothing seems to be going his way this quarter.
Oh, man, an awful display from him so far. But you know he's going to keep working to try to turn it around.
Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws.
And Rose not always focused on creating contact, but with his physical gifts, a lot of times he leaves the defense no choice.
First trip to the free throw line for him in this one. That one is off. Well, the NBA is entertainment. You know, Chris, it also can have a very social impact in a positive ways. Guys like Kyle Korver have spoken out. The Jazz took action last season Chris, how do you feel the league has responded to issues like discrimination?
Well, I think the league has done a wonderful job, better than any league. First of all, we acknowledge it. You don't just throw it under the rug and say there's no problem here. And that may be the toughest, to be able to acknowledge that. And then secondly, to make quick, sweeping decisions, I think has also been awesome too. But I don't think any league in the history of sports has had more players speak up for issues in society than ours. Let's go back to Bill Russell and others, the way that they started the game and came in. We have to love it, and I love the fact that the league is not scared of the narrative, and we work together. And by the way, that Kyle Korver article was so awesome. It was so vulnerable for him to write that. And when you have players like that, no matter what color, that are selfless to speak out to make society better, then it's not just good for the game, but it's great for all of us. So kudos to Kyle, the Jazz, and everyone doing all they can do to make things better for everyone.
Absolutely. Griffin finds Jackson. Got a piece of it. Oh, look at him fly!
Get out the way!
And it's the Hornets with the ball, trailing by 13. They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Too many empty possessions. Right now, they need a basket.
Monk with the ball, and Dumboya picks him up defensively. And stolen by Drummond. Oh, and there's the alley-oop, and the jam by Dumboya.
I like their focus coming in. Terrific execution so far.
Going for the juggler right off the bat. I mean, jumping out to an impressive early lead.
Here's Graham after the made shot from Sekou Doumbouya. Zeller passes to Monk. And stolen by Drummond. Oh, Griffin in position. Throws down the alley-oop slam.
An alley-oop maestro. Griffin is consistent at finishing off any lob thrown his way.
Hornets trail by 17. Graham kicks to Zeller. Dishes it to Monk. Jackson comes over with the double. Nobody near Williams. And again, the Hornets missing.
Team's rebounding is a great measure of its energy, and theirs has been terrific here in the first quarter.
On the wing, Jackson. Over Graham. Hernan Gomez grabs the miss. Hernan Gomez has got 6 rebounds here tonight. Now here's Williams. And right now he's averaging about 7 points a game. This one for 3. Off to a good start as he hits his first shot attempt.
And that's exactly what he's looking for, draining the triple.
Pistons leading by 14. Here's Rose. They've been leaning on him for a decent chunk of their offense. He's averaging over 15 points a game. Griffin looking around. Shot clock at 6. And Sekou Doumbouya is going to pick up a foul. That is his first foul of the game. Some changes for Charlotte. Kid Gilchrist comes in for Cody Zeller, and it's Batum in for Malik Monk. And a different look here for the Pistons. Morris is checked in for Andre Drummond. Christian Wood comes in for Blake Griffin. Tony Snell's checked in for Doumbouya. And it's Luke Kennard in for Derrick Rose. To the inside, Williams. And it's slammed in by Williams.
That's the awareness that Kid Gilchrist has out there. Excellent at knowing where the open man is.
Pass to Snell. Back to Jackson. Three-pointer. Hornets with the rebound. There's 1:54 left to play in the first. To the paint. And finished off by Hernan Gomez.
Strong move to the 10, trying to get his guys going.
Hard not to get motivated, GA, right when your teammate makes that kind of play.
Yeah, Kevin, you're right. They needed that. And I love that he just didn't settle for the lay-in.
Here's Morris after the basket by Charlotte.
The rotation in the D could be better here. It'll cost them next time if it's not.
Here's Batum. Here's Kid Gilchrist, and the lead is down inside single digits.
An outstanding rebounder for a wing. Kid Gilchrist making his presence felt at the offensive end.
Now Jackson. No points in the game yet for him. Pass to Snell from 13. 1 up, 1 down. 2 points with his first shot this game.
Already, they've piled up 8 second chance points.
Now here's Batum. D right on him. For 3. No good on that one. And it's Detroit the other way. Here's Snell. Banked in off the glass. And now it's a 12-point Detroit lead.
It's early, but they are getting pummeled on the glass.
.29 seconds left here in the first quarter. Outside, Kid Gilchrist. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line. That's on Reggie Jackson.
And Kid Gilchrist is constantly looking to get to the line. Just a remarkable player who finds a way to get right up there in the defense.
For Charlotte, they have gone 2 for 3 at the foul line in this game.
Shooting 2.
First one falls for him.
And in a short amount of time, Kid Gilchrist has established himself as one of the best perimeter defenders in the game. His long reach and tenacious athleticism really covers a lot of ground.
And Kid Gilchrist drops them both. There's 18 seconds left in the first. Jackson looking it over. Morris outside. Right side Jackson, and plenty of contact on the shot. So 2 free throws coming up. That's a foul on Charlotte.
This is ridiculous. The D has to do better. You just can't whack Jackson on these type of shots.
First trip to the line for him here.
And they have really leaned on his free throw shooting at times this season. He's been there for them, too, with 88% from the line.
The free throw drops for Jackson.
As a kid, Jackson saw a lot of the world. His dad was in the Air Force, so he lived in Italy, England, North Dakota, Florida, Colorado. He was all over the place.
Both free throws good from Jackson. Here's Graham. From deep three-point range.
Oh, man, and Jackson is just a pesky defender. Does a phenomenal job at getting a hand up in the face of shooters.
And after just 1 quarter of play, a double-digit differential on the scoreboard. The Pistons on top, up by 12. We'll be back shortly live from Spectrum Center. Andre Drummond says he's learned how to be a leader on this team.
Watching previous guys who've led this team and did the things that they did, I write that kind of stuff in the back of my head and just say, this is something I need to do this. Or if I see something I didn't like, this is something I probably will stay away from. And I think now that I'm in a role where I could kind of lead this team, I kind of have the blueprint on what I need to do to make this team successful.
And, Greg, with Blake Griffin, he's got somebody to take some of that leadership role alongside him.
And those two will be pivotal in deciding just how good this team can be.
And welcome back to the second quarter of action. Plenty of basketball left to play, but this one has been one-sided so far. And the Pistons have been rolling right along, haven't they?
What we saw in that first quarter, they won their matchups defensively.
Yeah, they really got after it. I mean, they made life extremely difficult for the shooters, which is why they hold this lead.
On the court for the Pistons, on the wings, Kennard and Snell. Wood out there with Markieff Morris, and it's Jackson in at the point guard position. Here's Graham.
Well, after dealing with some injuries the last few seasons, Kevin, the burst of Reggie Jackson just hasn't been there. However, he's transitioned into more of a spot-up scoring role with the team last season, and he took to it after some time.
Yep, it goes, and the Piston lead is cut down now to just 10 points with that basket from Michael Kidd-Gilchrist. And it's Jackson with the ball, bringing it up for the Detroit Pistons. 17 points was their biggest margin. Morris right side. Jackson misses. And with Jackson, as you said, C-Webb, it took some time for him to adjust to playing off the ball.
Yeah, Kevin, but once the adjustment was made, he looked great. It's never easy making a big change like that, but if you buy into it, it can work well for him and for the team as they have Blake Griffin doing more of the playmaking within the offense.
Here's Jackson. Michael Kidd-Gilchrist making his last shot. Jackson passes to Morris. It's over Biombo. Offline from the top of the key.
Even when the D is playing off of him, the mid-range jumper shouldn't be the shot they're looking for.
That drops, and it comes off an assist from Williams. Biombo's got his second bucket.
And they're beginning to just flat-out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Jackson with it. 20 points for him last game against Orlando. They get a hand on it. Pass to Kennard. Takes a three. The Hornets pull it in.
And I think that one could have easily have fallen for him.
Here's Graham. Good on the three-point shot. And now just a three-point Piston lead.
And it just seems that every pass they make is leading to a score. Just great ball movement.
Here's Jackson. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul.
And as long as Reggie Jackson is healthy, he's going to give you some punch as a lead guard. Solid scoring option and a guy who's also unselfish in terms of getting his teammates involved.
And that one falls for Jackson. And for the last half decade, Reggie Jackson has been good for about 15 points a game.
And that is about the consistency you can expect from Jackson. He's always been a talent. The key for him is just staying on the floor.
And the Pistons making a change here. Galloway's checked in. Both free throws good from Jackson.
Yeah, and the Hornets, they'll be one of the more disciplined teams you'll find in this league. I mean, they keep mistakes to a minimum on both sides of the ball. That's a big part of why the Hornets are tough to play.
Biombo with the block. Out of bounds. Pistons ball as Detroit keeps possession. Here's Galloway. 14 points from him the last game against Orlando. And Chris, for the Hornets, as we know, their coach Borrego preaches preparation.
Well, yeah, and it shows it up in the stats, Kevin. I mean, they're the best in taking care of the ball. The team does not take silly fouls on defense.
Now, here's Rozier, trailing here by 8. Some solid defense there from Jackson.
He usually takes advantage of D like that. Should have been a simple layup.
Galloway with the bucket.
Oh, it's great to see Galloway being aggressive, Kevin. I mean, when he's driving like this, it's a huge bonus.
Here's Rozier. He's gotten some minutes, but nothing on the board yet. Okay, well, let's check in with David Aldridge, who's reporting from the sidelines.
Well, Kevin, Charlotte's had to wait a bit the last few years. Now, the city hosted the All-Star game last season, but for the Hornets, they've gone 3 seasons without a playoff appearance and 15 seasons without winning a playoff series. In that time, the franchise has had 7 head coaches and a shifting front office. But Buzz City is hoping that its wait for playoff relevance will end soon. Kevin?
We all are. David, thank you. Hornets trail by 10. Down low, here's Kid Gilchrist. And slam dunk by Kid Gilchrist.
Anytime he gets a chance inside, Kid Gilchrist is looking to destroy that rim.
Rozier against Jackson. Morris outside. Shoots over Biombo. Bridges with the board.
The shot's there for him, and he's got to take it. I don't care if he doesn't convert. That's a shot he has to continue to take.
Hate to say it, he's dragging them down. Not a single bucket this game.
Here's Kennard. And Rozier pulls it down.
Oh, that's one of the few times they'll get away with leaving him that wide open.
And Kid Gilchrist throws it down.
Well, with Kid Gilchrist, he scores in so many ways on the drive, with his jump shot from the interior. He's just awesome on offense.
Jackson against Rozier. Here's Kennard. Still getting warmed up offensively. No scoring yet from him.
And the activity he shows around the rim is why he is such a respected defender.
Yeah, you can see why he's established that reputation. Strong understanding of how to defend at the rim.
And he gets it back. And here is Rozier. Steady offensive output from him, averaging more than 16 points a game.
Well, we've seen that movie a few times, haven't we? An easy bucket in the paint.
Now here's Jackson. They lead by 4. Morris trying to free himself up. Jackson gets the bucket. Jackson's got 4 this quarter.
Wow, and Jackson is just crafty down inside. He has such a quick release that even taller defenders can't get to it in time.
Charlotte has gone 1 of 2 on 3-pointers here in the second quarter so far. Rozier the pass to Bridges, and the foul called on Markieff Morris. That's his first foul. Cody Zeller's checked in for Charlotte. Monk comes in for Nicholas Batum. Drummond's checked in for the Pistons. Griffin comes in for Reggie Jackson. Now, here's Monk. An 11-point game for him in the win against the Heat in Miami. Just 5 on the clock. Here's Rozier, and 2 shots coming up at the line as he gets fouled on the shot. And Detroit gets called for the foul.
And Rozier is outstanding at drawing fouls on these kinds of shots.
And one of those little spark plug guys, Terry Rozier, plays the game with, Greg, I think a chip on his shoulder.
I mean, the story goes, as a kid, when his temper flared, his mother would have to sit on him until he cooled down. He's learned to channel that fire and emotion into his game.
The first one falls. Injuries can play such a big part in a player's career. Which guys strike you, Chris, as the biggest what-if stories? Have they stayed healthy?
Wow. I mean, you got to start, in my mind, I got to go to, a guy like a Grant Hill. He was Mr. Triple-Double. He and Jason Kidd, to me, were almost the same players, just in different bodies when Grant started his career off in Detroit. And to see him get injured, man, that just hurt me because he had so much potential. Even though he had a great career, I still think about him. How about Greg Oden, who got hurt in his senior year, had to shoot free throws with his left hand, and then he comes into the league, and the big fella just had to battle injuries, and feel sorry for that big fella because he was so skilled in the game.
And the foul called on Blake Griffin. That'll be his second foul of the game.
And now only 1 away from being in the penalty.
Hornets trail by 4. Now Rozier. Kicks to Monk. Zeller dishes to Monk. Knocked loose, and that'll be Charlotte as it goes out of bounds. Hornets retain possession. A three off the inbound.
And the reach of Galloway annoys shooters. I mean, does a nice job contesting without fouling.
And the slam by Blake Griffin.
You've got to love his aggressiveness to finish inside.
Well, his leaping ability gives him a great advantage. So Rozier will bring it up for Charlotte. 6-point game. The pass to Monk. 6 on the shot clock. It's blocked.
And another miss. Ooh, he's having a really ugly game.
Yeah, about as ugly as you can have, you're right.
Attacking in transition, the most consistent way to generate easy looks.
Yeah, you can tell they love to get out and run when the opportunity is there.
They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Too many empty possessions. Right now, they need a basket. And already his third foul. It's got to be time to get him out of there probably until the third quarter. And a major strength of this Pistons team in recent years has been their rebounding.
The whole team contributes, but a big part of that is Drummond. I mean, has only been emphasized more since Dwayne Casey has come in. A very tough team to deal with on the glass.
And the first one drops.
Yeah, and the Hornets, they had a very strong bench, not only with their scoring, but how they impact rebounding and passing. I mean, one of the better benches in this league.
And so he makes both from the line. And the Hornets have had a strong bench for a while now.
Yeah, depth isn't a problem for this team, Kevin. Having a formidable starting five, though, has been. They need to consider trading some depth for an upgrade at the starting position.
Now here's Drummond. He had a 27-point outing in their last game against Orlando.
And he didn't ignore the defensive aspect either. I mean, his 3 blocks tell that story.
And great job from beyond the arc this quarter. They are now shooting the 3 at almost 60% for the game.
Hornets trail by 9. Rozier kicks to Bridges. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul. It's going to be on Sekou Doumbouya.
Excels at driving to the basket. Bridges making the D get physical with him when he penetrates.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
And the first one at the line is good. And for a player like Miles Bridges, the key, Chris, will be for him learning to play without the ball.
Yeah, well, he can finish. I mean, you saw that dunk in the dunk contest last year. But for him, Kevin, I mean, to be at his best, he needs to learn ways to get open and get looks at the rim in a consistent manner.
Hernan Gomez is checked in for Biyombo. And so he hits both.
You know, what I love about Bridges is just the all-around game. He scores, rebounds, passes, and defends well, too. Just an exciting young prospect.
Now here's Rose. He has 6. Griffin's shot is off.
Oh, their movement is good, and they get the ball into the right hand. Now, usually he drops those in between jumpers.
And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up. And with Cody Zeller, he has a very workmanlike approach when he's on the floor.
Yeah, Kevin, and that's what Zeller is all about, playing a simple meat and potatoes type game. I mean, what he does won't show up in the box score, but it'll show up in the standings.
Shooting 2.
He's off on the first. Chris, are there specific types of plays where you feel the whistle gets blown maybe a little too often and a little too early?
Well, sometimes for a guard, when he's defending the guard and the pick and roll comes and he fights through that pick, and as a guard, offensive player, I can stop and let you bump into me and shoot the ball. I think the refs they just have to be smart with it. Sometimes it's a foul, but every time it's not, just because of the situation or the flop. And also, you just don't want players to be bailed out when the defender is in a good position. But that's what makes the game so great, is the fact that as an offensive player, you got to try to manipulate and find out where you can sneak yourself in the gray areas of a rules. And as a defensive player, how can you use your skill, your will, and then your IQ not to get caught with your hand in the cookie jar?
The Pistons have gone 9 of 10 from the line, so making the most of their chances.
And typically a strength of theirs, 79% on the season.
And the free throw, no good.
And boy, what a year it was for Derrick Rose. And the sea of fans hoping that he would get back to what he once was, as he was electric. The D just kind of stepping aside and letting him get to the rim.
There's a reason, GA, the lead is what it is right now.
Oh, Kevin, the coaching staff has to be upset. You can't give the opposition easy buckets like this, GA.
It's stolen by Rose. Oh, Griffin in position, and the slam by Blake Griffin.
The offensive arsenal of Griffin, so dangerous, especially when it seems he can't miss from anywhere.
Hornets trail by 12. And for Rose, so many had written him off, but he was a huge factor for the Timberwolves.
Rose still has a tremendous passion for the game, and it really shows on the court. His renaissance last season was one of the better stories in our league.
Shooting 2.
That's good from Rozier.
Didn't have a free throw in the first quarter, but you can see he's starting to play with more energy now. He has a tougher attitude.
And that's good as he hits both of his shots.
Well, last season was a successful one for the Pistons. I mean, they made the playoffs as an 8 seed. They were counted out at times, but had a strong second half to make it back to the postseason.
And the foul on Rose. So that will be his second foul of the game. We're in the bonus, and we'll go to the line to shoot 2. And Chris with the Pistons, an incredible run during February made the difference last season for them.
Yeah, well, the offense had been their weak spot, but it was clicking during that stretch. I mean, this team needs to find a way to play like that all season long. They've showed some flashes of greatness. Now it's just about continuing to improve.
That free throw, no good. And he sinks the second.
And the Hornets, as a franchise, trying to figure out their direction.
Yeah, the team was torn on whether to rebuild or go for the playoffs. The fan base, well, they were split as well on what to do. I mean, it's been this way for years. Team is just stuck in the middle.
Hornets trail by 9. It's Williams with the drive. Doumbouya pulls it in. Detroit's gone 2 of 4 from three-point range so far in the second quarter. His shot is good, scores his third basket in 6 tries, shooting 50%.
Yeah, the chemistry has been terrific. Really impressed with their offensive execution.
So Rozier will bring it up for the Charlotte Hornets. Zeller passes to Rozier. He kicks to Graham. Rose with the double team. Here's Zeller. That's basket number 2 with his third shot off to a fast 2 for 3.
Great decision, great find. I mean, draws the double team and passes out of it to create the open look.
And the Pistons decide to take their first timeout right here.
And starting to send guys to the line way more than they need to. Let's get some good position defense going here. That should be the emphasis, and get away from the sloppy fouls.
Tony Snell's checked in for Langston Galloway. Now here's Rose. 8 points for him. Passes it to Griffin. There's the three. That one doesn't drop. And Charlotte will go the other way with it.
He hit 1 3 in the first, but the well has been totally dry for him in the second.
Detroit leading by 9. Out of bounds. Charlotte takes possession.
And taking a look now at stats for Blake Griffin. He's been dominant over the last month. He's averaging 19 points per game, 8 rebounds, and 4 assists. And he does so much for this team, but it starts with the way he leads the offense.
Yeah, he's willing to take on the scoring load, and he's more than capable of delivering.
Now, here's Rozier. 8 points for him. And it's sent back by Drummond.
An intimidating big man with physical tools that are hard to come by. Drummond loves to send shots away.
Rose attacking. Count that as his 4th basket of the night. Just 7 shots to get there.
The plan of attack is obvious. Get the ball inside and go strong to the rim.
Now, here's Rozier. He's covered closely. Comes up empty down low.
Well, he has to work harder to get a good high percentage look. I mean, he's been taking some bad shots out there.
Now, here's Doumbouya. Graham defending. Rose. The Hornets pull it in. Ernie Gomez has got rebound number 10 tonight with that last one. And it's Graham missing.
I mean, he struggles with his finishes sometimes. I mean, it's kept him from being an elite player.
And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line. For Detroit, they have shot 9 of 11 at the free throw line. That's good from Snell. Nicholas Batum. He's checked in for Terry Rozier. And so Snell nails both of them.
Oh, not many players with the more steady hand at the free throw line than this fella.
Here's Graham. He's covered by Rose. Graham with the bucket.
That's just great touch. The teardrop, well, that's all about feel.
Outside Rose. With 1 on the clock. And so it's the Detroit Pistons in control with a 9-point lead to end the quarter. They've dictated the pace, pushed the ball at every chance, and it's paying off for them. It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Kevin, thanks. Derek, what's the most important thing on defense, and how does that impact the offense?
Contesting their shots. They're a great three-point shooting team. We're just contesting and getting out and run. That's our favorite thing to do. Get out, run. We got big second runs, shooters on the floor, so open the floor up a little bit.
We'll see if you can keep the pace going in the second half, Derek. Thanks a lot. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, David, thank you. We'll be back after halftime for the start of the third quarter.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello again, folks. Ernie Johnson here with Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. It's the NBA on 2K Sports, and let's talk the first half. Some incredible work in this one by Blake Griffin. He had 13 points, 2 assists, and 4 rebounds. Taking a look at the Pistons, Shaq, what did you think?
Well, they really dictated the pace of the game with their transition game. They got out on the break every chance they had, and the time they could push the tempo, they did. And a lot of times it kept the defense scrambling like eggs with the cheese and apple juice.
Looking at Charlotte, Kenny, your thoughts?
It looked like they were shooting threes blindfolded. Sometimes you could get cold, but that was atrocious. It was scary. But they also looked scattered out there, and I think that disorganization was the main issue for them missing those shots. They need to establish themselves better, into a better rhythm in the second half, and avoid relying so heavily on the three-point shot.
And that'll about do it as we get ready for the second half. Let's take you down to Kevin Harlan.
Shout out to my main man, Joel.
Joel, what up?
We played through the first half. Plenty of basketball, though, left in this one. You look at Blake Griffin in this game. He's been everywhere.
The way he was able to finish on the block was incredible there in that first half.
Bringing the physicality. I mean, they kept working it to him, and he kept delivering.
Hornets trail by 9. While we've got a moment, let's set the floor. Brought to you by Gatorade, all fueled up for the second half. Setting the floor for the Hornets. Rozier and Monk, they're the backcourt. Bridges out there with Hernan Gomez, and it's Zeller in at the 5. And now the fast break. Griffin with the ball. Dumboya, good.
This is what you get from Griffin. Very willing to give it up to his open teammates.
And for the Hornets, they're shooting just 39% from the field, struggling to find that net.
Yeah, first year for Coach Borrego as a head coach, but he had a solid start. He's from the Popovich coaching tree. He was given the reins of the Hornets, and he was tasked with improving their offense.
They get it back. Hernan Gomez. They shoot again. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws. And with Borrego as coach, the offense certainly was more fluid.
Yeah, Borrego, he stresses ball movement. He encourages his players to look for early offense, more spacing in the system that benefits the whole roster.
No good on that one.
You look back at the Blake Griffin trade, many thought the Pistons gave up too much, but it's worked out for them.
Yeah, losing the picks for Griffin, you have to admit it did hurt. But people forget that Griffin is a star player, and he reminded those same people last year. He's become the leader for this franchise as they try to move forward.
Detroit leading by 10. And about a minute of action so far in the third quarter. Pass to Griffin. Now Drummond. Hernan Gomez covering. And it's Drummond missing. Hornets have gone 0 of 3 and are still looking for that first bucket here in the second half. Bridges, no one around him. That's good, and it's Rozier with the assist. Rozier's got 3 assists now in this one. And it's Rose with the ball for the Pistons. Pass to Drummond and stolen by Zeller. Rozier with the ball. He's picked up by Drummond and keeping us updated from the sideline. Let's swing it over to David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, Dwayne Casey was the 2018 Coach of the Year, but as we all know, he was fired after that same season by the Raptors. Casey's found a home in Detroit. Casey said, "I have no regrets." Winston Churchill said, "Success consists of going from failure to failure without losing enthusiasm." And that's what I've done. So, Kevin, Dwayne Casey is still pounding the rock.
He sure is, and I like that Churchill quote as well. Thanks, David. And the ball travels out of bounds. It was last touched by Rose. Jackson, he's checked in for Detroit. Hornets trail by 6. Monk with the ball. They look to him for part of their offensive attack. Right now, he averages nearly 12 points a game. Here's Rozier. Softly drops in the floater. Rozier's got 10 points in the game.
And they're passing the ball very crisply here.
Jackson against Rozier. And there's the pass to Griffin. And no good. The dry spell continuing for him.
It's still early, but a 1-for-4 start to the half, that's a bad sign if you ask me. If they've got a can't-miss play, now's the time to break the glass and pull it out.
Jackson against Rozier. It's Jackson with the drive. That one goes in.
How about the muscle from Jackson on that play? Even with the contact, he knocked the bucket down easily.
This is his third trip to the free throw line in the game. And some changes here for the Hornets. Biyombo is checked in for Zeller. And Michael Kidd-Gilchrist subbed in for Hernan Gomez. Markieff Morris is checked in for the Pistons. Luke Kennard comes in for Doumbouya.
One shot.
And that one falls for Jackson.
And a coach that players love is Dwayne Casey. Very vet-friendly, sticks up for his guys in every post-game interview.
Casey is very measured in his approach. He can be a bit slow to change at times, but his players appreciate the consistency.
Now, here's Rozier. He's got 12. Feeds to Kidd-Gilchrist. Good work defensively by Morris. Detroit leading by 5. Here's Galloway. It's in, and he's a very efficient 5 for 6 on the game.
I mean, you got to respect the guts of Galloway. I mean, at 6'2", it's great to see him capitalize inside.
We've gone about 3.5 minutes into the third now. Rozier up top, guarded by Jackson. And there's the call on Andre Drummond. That'll be his second foul of the game. And the Pistons making a change here. Woods checked in. Here's Biyombo, currently averaging almost 6 points a game. And here is Monk, 5 on the clock. Rozier kicks to Bridges. And it's off from three-point range. The Pistons have gone 3 of 6 in the third quarter, 50% from the field. Here's Morris. That's good, and so Galloway with the assist. Galloway has got 4 assists in the game.
Oh, I love the strength of Morris. Even with suffocating defense, he wheels these shots in.
Hornets trail by 9. Now, here's Monk. Over in the corner, Rozier. Biyombo dishes to Monk to halt the run. The shot, no good. Now the Pistons take it the other way. 17 points was their biggest margin. Here's Jackson. Biyombo with the block. Here's Bridges. Lays it up and banks it in. Bridges has got his third basket of the night. Detroit leading by 7. Right side, Jackson. Passes to Kennard. Morris outside. The Pistons need to get off a shot here. Kennard's shot is off. Charlotte's gone 0 of 2 from deep to start things here in the second half. Monk for 3. Kennard with the rebound.
That's a look you cannot pass up. It's also one you shouldn't miss.
Jackson, that's good. Jackson's got 5 points now this quarter.
Yeah, that was the third straight high percentage look the defense has allowed. The defenders have got to start putting bodies on bodies.
Hornets trail by 9. Rozier looking around, and that one drops. Now Jackson. He's got 11. To the wing on the left. And they call an illegal screen here.
And taking a look at some stats here for Rozier, his last 10 games, putting up about 18 points per, 7 assists, and 3 rebounds. And he has been passing the ball like a virtuoso. That's what really stands out about these recent performances.
Hey, every symphony needs a conductor. He unifies his teammates, sets the tempo, and they make some sweet, sweet moves. His touch has been off tonight, and now his judgment is off too. I mean, come on. It's not a smart shot.
And Morris throws it down.
Wow. The size of Morris helps him down low, especially when he decides to sky high for the dunk.
So Rozier will bring it up for Charlotte. They trail by 9 points. Pass to Monk. Beyond the arc. Rebound by the Pistons.
No doubt it's been a bit of a struggle for him here in this quarter in terms of scoring.
The putback.
And now you see them starting to really work the ball inside.
Charlotte shooting around 40% in the third. Maybe settling for some less than ideal looks out there. Rozier against Jackson. Monk for 3. That's good, and it's Rozier with the assist. Rozier's got 5 assists in the game.
Man, that's sure got to be a load off his mind after not hitting a single three-pointer in that first half.
Time called here. The Pistons decide to talk it over. As the teams head into this timeout, a chance for the coaches now to map out some plays for the next few minutes and a chance for the players to rehydrate with some Gatorade. That's important if they want to make sure they don't wear down later in the game.
Absolutely. Over the course of a game, you have to stay hydrated.
Tony Snell's checked in for Langston Galloway. Detroit, no good that time either. Hornets trail by 8. And it's Kid Gilchrist penetrating. The layup missed. For Detroit, they've gotten half their shots to drop in the second half up to this point, going 7 of 14. And Kennard came into the league viewed mostly as a shooter, but he's been able to provide much more than that.
I mean, better than you think when he puts the ball on the floor. Learning how to lean into defenders and step back to open up the shot is a better playmaker than he gets credit for, and we should see him take on a larger role as he develops.
And so it's Charlotte with it, following the bucket by the Pistons. Pass to Graham. 6 to shoot. Can't connect from 13 feet out.
A slight rebound advantage for them. One more column in their favor, and it's all adding up.
Here's Snell. Graham defending. Snell, the pass to Jackson. Over Williams. Jackson misses.
He's been off the mark, but somehow he hasn't held them back as a team.
Here's Batum. The second chance effort. Tries yet again. Yep, it goes. And the Piston lead is cut down now to just 8 on the basket from Kid Gilchrist.
And what focus from Kid Gilchrist, refusing to let the defense alter his shot there.
Now here's Jackson. He's got 11. The pass to Kennard. Fires from deep. It's Biyombo with the rebound. Biyombo's got 8 rebounds in this game. Malik Monk, he's checked in for the Hornets. Charlotte's gotten 1 of 6 three-pointers to drop since coming out of the locker room at halftime. Graham with the ball. He's got 9. Rebounded by Snell. Outside Jackson. Shoots over Graham with the putback. It's good on the putback. Wood's got 4 points now in the quarter.
They should continue to get the ball inside. The defense struggling to contain them.
Here's Graham, guarded by Jackson. Passes it to Monk. Poked away. It's Jackson with the drive. Lays it up off the glass. And now a 12-point Detroit lead.
They're doing a really good job of getting the ball inside and attacking the paint. That's an area they have completely dominated.
Charlotte shooting just 39% from the field, struggling to find that net. Here's Graham, guarded by Jackson. And it's Graham missing. Detroit leading by 12. Three-pointers. Snell. Hornets with the rebound. Biombo's got rebound number 9 now. What an effort here tonight. Williams finds Biombo. Jackson comes over with the double. Here's Monk. Biombo, great positioning on the putback. Biombo's got 6.
Love the determination he showed there, getting himself into good position under the glass.
With the presence of mind to know just where the rebound was going to come down. Well timed. Now a timeout called by Detroit.
Adjustments are a part of the game, and the coach sees something he doesn't like here.
Yeah, I like the chess match that's going on here. Each team trying to find and exploit the favorable matchup on the floor.
And the Hornets making a change here. Zeller's checked in, and a different look here for the Pistons. Drummond's checked in for Markieff Morris. Griffin comes in for Christian Wood. Doumbouya is checked in for Tony Snell. And Derrick Rose is subbed in for Kennard. Now here's Rose. 10 points for him. Doumbouya passes to Rose. And out of bounds as the Hornets gain possession.
And a quick check of the stats for Drummond. This last month, he's been positively spectacular. 3rd in rebounding, 6th in shooting percentage, and he provides that deterrent around the rim, ranking among the top 15 league-wide in blocks per game.
And as you said, one of the league's top 3 rebounders. He has an instinct for how the shot's going to come off that rim. That's special. And the want-to corral it. Graham dishes to Williams. Pass to Monk. Clock is at 3. The 3. Some solid defense there from Jackson. And so it's Drummond with it. He'll bring it up for the Pistons. 17 points was their biggest margin. Doumbouya gets a wide open look. That one no good. And the Hornets now going the other way. Here's Graham. No good there, and that would have cut it to single digits.
Scoreless quarter for him. I mean, you can see by his body language that he's getting discouraged.
Bucket is good. 15 points for Blake Griffin.
Oh, and when there's an open man, Jackson finds him, making it look very easy.
40 seconds left in the 3rd quarter of the game. Guys are looking for a spark here.
Yeah, a cold stretch offensively for sure.
Here's Graham, and he gets it to go. Graham's got 11 points.
He's taken 5 shots this quarter and only hit 1. I mean, you got to say ouch to that.
Rose passes to Griffin. Back to Rose. Unloads. He hits the back iron and sinks the shot. 12 points for him.
And great elevation on that shot from Rose. When his jumper is falling, he becomes a nightmare to defend.
Here's Monk. And Sekou Doumbouya is going to pick up a foul. That will get him his 4th foul of the game. And Williams no good on that one.
At this point in his career, Williams knows his role. He doesn't play outside of himself. You love that about him. He focuses on playing within the system.
Here's Graham. And a little luck that time, but it drops. Graham's got 4 points this quarter. And so it's the Detroit Pistons with a 10-point lead. Some breathing room heading into the break. They're feeling very confident, shooting the ball with great efficiency and dictating the pace. And we'll be right back after this. And a worthy candidate tonight as we take a look at our State Farm assist of the game.
And how about the floor generalship right here? I mean, showing us why they're always in good hands when he's the man in charge.
Great vision. He's a gifted passer. Has his finger on the pulse of this offense.
Fourth quarter of action is upon us. Thanks as always for joining us. On the court for the Pistons, Rose and Jackson of the backcourt. On the front line, the talented duo of Griffin and Drummond. And it's Doumbouya in at the three, the small forward. Now here's Rose, right wing. Here's Drummond, 4 on the shot clock. Over Zeller. Here's Griffin.
Now, he plays with such rabid intensity. You love how hard Griffin goes at it. He's skilled at drawing the contact.
And he makes the first. Griffin hits them both. Hornets trail by 12. Graham surveying the floor. Pass to Williams. The pass to Hernan Gomez. Good, and it's Williams who picks up the assist.
And you like the sharp passing from Williams, a long, tall player who scans the floor.
Pistons leading by 10. 60 seconds off the clock here in the fourth. Up top, Griffin goes up on the high post. Up again, and Drummond is right there.
His energy level has never dropped in his game. I mean, he's working his tail off, and the D is struggling to keep up.
And here is Graham. He dishes it to Monk. Releases. Misses off the left iron.
It isn't the D that causes that miss. That's just a loss of concentration that time.
Jackson misses. Hornets trail by 12. Monk, the pass to Graham. It's Drummond with the rebound. Drummond's got his 18th rebound here tonight, all over the place. Doumbouya can't get it to go. And the foul called on Blake Griffin. That will get him his 4th foul of the game. So it's both teams making substitutions here. Hornets have gone 1 of 3 from the field to start the fourth quarter. Pass to Monk. We're about 2 minutes into the fourth quarter in this one. Hernan Gomez kicks to Rozier. Down to 5 on the shot clock. And good. Got the friendly bounce off the right side of the rim. Now here's Rose. Just under 2.5 minutes gone here in the final quarter. Nice ball movement by Detroit. Here's Griffin. Nice follow through on the fadeaway. Griffin's got 19 points.
You always worry about Griffin around the basket, but don't overlook his mid-range game.
Now, here's Monk. He's guarded closely. That shot off.
He hasn't been able to find any kind of groove this quarter. I mean, it seems like he's been running on fumes since halftime.
Galloway. It's deflected. They retain possession. Oh, Griffin in position, but they get it back.
And that's a nice job on the offensive glass there. That'll let them work the clock even more. That's one he knows he should have drained.
Monk, the pass to Rozier. Back to Monk. Pass to Hernan Gomez. And he banks in the layup. And he's now got the double-double. 11 points and 12 rebounds. Detroit leading by 10. Here's Rose. It's rebounded by Charlotte. Hernan Gomez has got 13 rebounds in the game. Class eating. Bridges kicks to Rozier. Back to Bridges. Pass to Monk. Shot clock at 5. Kept alive, and it goes out of bounds. That one is off Zeller. And it's Rose with the ball for Detroit. So far in the fourth quarter, they've allowed just 6 points. And they call the foul, so a chance at the line for one more coming up.
And Derrick Rose certainly equipped athletically to punish teams in the paint.
One shot.
The free throw drops for Rose.
And Derrick Rose, the former #1 overall pick in 08, one of the most athletically gifted point guards the league has ever seen.
Now, here's Monk. Now the pass to Rozier. Hernan Gomez trying to break free. Yep, it goes. And the Piston lead is cut down now to just 11 on the bucket from Rozier. Rose against Rozier. Passes it to Griffin. To the middle. Here's Drummond. And 2 free throws coming up. Unable to get that one to go with all the contact. It goes on Cody Zeller.
Well, last season, Kev, Malik Monk got more chances on the floor. He still showed a bit of inconsistency, and that's going to be something that he'll have to smooth out with time.
Shooting 2.
The first one falls. And Chris, you forget just how young Monk was when he came into the NBA.
Yeah, true. His game was very raw, and it's still a work in progress. But you see the flashes of what he's capable of. And, Kevin, ultimately, you want him to be better on the defensive end as well.
Second free throw, no good. Disregarding the overstated pre-draft concerns about Luka Doncic. Even as the game goes international, it seemed like many GMs are scared to go all in on European players.
And rightfully so. It's a new area, and if they're not immersed into the culture, it may be a little more trepidation on that end. But I would just say, just look at the really the great stories, whether you're talking about the Vlade Divas or the Sabos that came into the game, and even if you go to Marshallonis, Dirk Nowitzki, yeah, come on, Porzingis. We got a lot of great players from overseas that have shown us that they can make the way. But the mistake would be is thinking just because someone lives close to them, they would have the game of a Dirk Nowitzki, and that's not true. So you need to do your due diligence, but I think European players have already proved the type of heart, skill set, and mindset that they come to this game with, which is at the top.
Here's Rozier after the made shot from Andre Drummond. High arcing shot. It's good, and the Piston lead is cut down to 9 in the bucket from Rozier.
It's all clicked into place for him this quarter. He's not missed a single shot.
Rose kicks to Galloway. Pass to Drummond. Here's Doumbouya with the tip, and Drummond is right there.
And they've got a big lead, not just on the scoreboard, but really in the rebounding numbers as well.
Rose against Rozier. Inside. Floats one. Detroit with the rebound. 17 points was their biggest margin. Here's Rose. That's good, and so Galloway with the assist. Galloway has got 5 assists tonight.
You want more of this from Galloway? I mean, we know he can score, but it's crucial he improves his passing.
Hornets trail by 13. Now Rozier. Just 5 to shoot. Floats one up. That shot no good. The Pistons go the other way with it. There's Galloway. Outside Rose. Over Rozier. Oh, offensive interference. The Hornets have gone 6 of 12 from the field here in the fourth, and even 50%. kicks it to Zeller from past the arc. Andre Drummond grabs the miss. Detroit leading by 13. 8 for 15 with that made basket, but he's not satisfied yet.
And their balanced effort at both ends has hushed this crowd.
No, because it's gone dead silent in this arena. What a fantastic performance here on the road.
Here's Monk following the score by Derrick Rose. Pass to Bridges. Back to Monk. Now here's Zeller. Over in the corner, Rozier. Over Rose. And again, the Hornets missing.
That's one he knows he should have drained.
Here's Galloway. Monk grabs the board. Hornets trail by 15. They could use a bucket. That shot missing.
And the well is running dry for him right now. Nothing falling.
Yeah, he just hit a rough patch. He's trying to climb out of it, but he hasn't been successful.
He has the length to send shots back. I like seeing Bridges make his presence felt on this end.
And the call will be against Langston Galloway. That'll be his second foul of the game. And the Hornets call time here.
Well, it's been an express lane to the rim. Coach can't be happy about that.
Poor rotations. I mean, slow help and just not enough toughness on the interior. They've got a lot to talk about.
And now we get the chance to present our Jordan Player of the Game, Andre Drummond.
And he's been dialed in from the field, Kevin. Good on over 60% of his attempts. They've been working the ball around well, and he's benefited with a lot of open looks. And boy, has he made the most of them.
He'd finally had enough of their losing streak, and it's going to take something special to regain some kind of momentum. And his effort has been very special tonight. On the sideline, let's catch up with Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
Thanks, guys. I was able to hear James Borrego coaching his team during the break. He said, "Do you want this game? Don't tell me about it. Show me and show your teammates. We've got to play better, and we've got to play harder if we're going to come back." Guys?
Thanks, David. Here's Rose, following the score by Charlotte. And Griffin scores, the assist by Rose. And that's now 21 points for Blake Griffin. And here's Rozier. He brings it up for the Charlotte Hornets. It's a 13-point game. To the paint. Here's Hernan Gomez. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line. Free throw good, Hernan Gomez. So he hits 1 of 2 from the stripe. Detroit leading by 12. Now the feed to Galloway. Can't hit from in close. And the call will be against Langston Galloway. And that'll be his 3rd foul so far. Charlotte working against the clock now. Rozier with the ball. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here. Andre Drummond picks one up.
Oh, the fearlessness by Rozier. That's what helps him earn the trip to the stripe.
That free throw, no good. And the second free throw, good.
They'll take it even with the miss. Anything they can do to cut into the lead.
Rose against Rozier. Rose surveying the D. No good that time. Hornets trail by 11. To the middle. Here's Zeller. That cuts the lead to single digits.
Oh, man, challenging the defense inside with the pass. That's just good ball movement.
Oh, Griffin in position.
And that's the role they want for Rose. Getting guys going through his passing, especially when he can find them in rhythm.
We've got 1:23 left in the fourth. Rose against Rozier. And that one is hammered home.
It puts the D in a tough spot when you have a point guard who can throw it down.
He really does, GA. He really does put pressure on you.
And, guys, it's clear, though, he enjoys showing off his athleticism. The D can't give him these opportunities.
They double-team Griffin, and the slam by Blake Griffin.
Guys, I think this is a game they have to feel good about as we moments here in what looks to be a solid win for the Pistons.
At every opportunity, they managed to push the ball and keep the up-tempo game going.
Yeah, I think it paid off, that's for sure.
And they took charge when it counted, and they'll be notching their 9th win overall.
And continued dominance against this team, winning both of their matchups this season.
And we watched them all night long. No one could really stop them. Just another excellent game it was for Andre Drummond.
Well, he showed what it takes to be a great rebounder tonight. Fighting for position, boxing out, never getting outworked down low.
Charlotte's gone 1 of 3 from outside the arc since we've reached the 4th quarter. Here's Rozier, and it's sent back by Drummond, and they're able to recover. And here is Rozier. Clock at 6. Hernan Gomez with the ball, and Griffin picks him up defensively.
Well, it's huge. Whenever Griffin comes up with blocks, I mean, you love to see him be more consistent in this area.
He kicks it to Galloway. Outside Rose. Pulls it up. Bank shot. No good. Guys, no real chance for them to come back now.
Yeah, I think the focus has to be on their next game at this point, and not allowing the shooter even an inch of breathing room on that one.
Yeah, Greg, that's just great defense, forcing his man into a difficult attempt.
And so Detroit takes this one by a big margin. And in the win, a comfortable win in what was, I think, a pretty hostile environment.
It really was. You know, it's never going to be easy on the road, but they didn't have too many problems with that tonight.
And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Thank you very much, Blake. Another good night of work offensively. How does the team build on this?
Just keep that rhythm. You know, we're not always going to hit shots every night. Some nights the shots aren't going to fall. So just keeping that rhythm, keeping the ball moving, talking on defense, and relying on each other.
Congrats on a great win, Blake. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David. Great interview once again. And that about wraps it up. For David Aldridge, Greg Anthony, and Chris Webber, this is Kevin Harlan thanking you for watching the NBA on 2K Sports. So long.